In web development, the three elements which form the core of any website are front-end, back-end, and database. Front-end is that part of application which deals with the client interaction. The content you see on any web page comes under front-end. HTML, CSS, and JavaScript are basic front-end development languages, and frameworks like React, Angular, and Vue adds advanced features on top of basic functionality. Whereas backend is that part of application which acts as brain behind the operation. It deals with processing the data, handling the logic, and providing functionality. Python, Java, Node.js, and PHP are some famous backend languages. Database is the storage house for all the website's data, from the user information to content and settings. The database ensures the information is organized, accessible, and secure. MySQL, Cassandra, and MongoDB are some highly in-demand databases. Let's understand about front-end and back-end in a layman's term by taking an example of car. In a car, front-end is everything you can see and touch. The shiny paint, comfy seats, cool dashboard display, fuel tank indicator, speedometer, pedals, that's all front-end. The front-end is what the user interacts with. Whereas backend includes the powerful engine, the complex wiring, fuel tank, sensors, that's all backend. The backend is what makes it all work. Just like a car needs both a striking body and a strong engine to run smoothly. Similarly, a website needs both a user-friendly front end and a robust backend to deliver a great user experience. Future of web development and why you should choose web development. As more and more aspects of our lives move online, from education and healthcare to work and entertainment, websites and web applications will become even more essential. Web developers will be the architects of this online world, building the tools and platforms we rely on daily. With the emergence of IoT devices, augmented reality and virtual reality, and blockchain technology, the future of web development is looking more promising than ever. Developers who adapt to these trends will be in high demand. Web development offers the flexibility of remote work, allowing developers to live and work from anywhere. Web development skills offer incredible independence. Students can learn to freelance, build their own businesses, or join innovative startups. Now, we'll discuss the front end. Front end is all the visual stuff you see on this web page, the images, the texts, the buttons, anything that is visible to the customer or end user. We are going to start with a blank web page, and the first technology we are going to look at is HTML. HTML stands for Hypertext Markup Language and is used to add content to our web page. For example, I can add this bit of HTML to add a button. I can also add other types of content like images and texts. And if I write more HTML, it will add more content to my page. But you will notice that our web page does not look very good. That's where CSS comes in. CSS stands for Cascading Style Sheets, and it is used to style our web page by letting us adjust colors, sizes, spacing, and things like that. Now let's add some CSS to our web page. So now after adding CSS, our web page looks much better. But we are not done yet. Let's say I want to filter these products and only show one brand of shoes. This is where JavaScript comes in. So when I click on this checkbox of Adidas, the web page will reflect the changes on our UI. HTML and CSS only display things on our web page, but JavaScript is what makes it interactive. So for example, when we click something or type something, the JavaScript code will update the page based on what we did. The most important feature of JavaScript is Document Object Model or the DOM. The DOM allows JavaScript to change the web page. For example, this bit of JavaScript code uses the DOM to change text in the button. And this is how it makes pages interactive. However, using the DOM directly like this is really repetitive and hard to manage. That's why we use JavaScript frameworks. These frameworks gives us a much nicer way to create our web page, and they take care of updating the web page for us. So we never use the DOM directly anymore. The most popular ones are React.js, Angular and Vue.js. Now let's take a step back and look at JavaScript again. JavaScript as a language is missing a lot of features that other programming languages have. One of these features is being able to split up our code into different files and to organize our code. To solve this, we have to use something called a bundler. The most popular one you have probably heard of is called Webpack. Webpack lets us split up our JavaScript code into many different files, and once we are ready to put it on our website, Webpack will combine all of these files into one JavaScript file. Another tool that we use is called a transpiler. The most popular one you have probably heard of is called TypeScript. A transpiler adds extra features onto JavaScript. It lets us write an enhanced version of JavaScript, and then once we are done, it will transform the enhanced JavaScript back into normal one. Because browsers like Google Chrome can only understand normal JavaScript. Those are the major technologies in the JavaScript world. We are going to look at how does the front end communicates with the back end. For example, let's say I am on Amazon and I want to place my order. So how does this order get sent from my computer to Amazon? JavaScript has a feature for this too called XML HTTP request. In this case, we are going to send our Amazon order to a URL like amazon.com/createorder. On the other side, Amazon's backend is listening for these messages sent to this URL, and that's how they get our order. Over the years, we have improved on XML HTTP request, and these days we use tools like Axios or Fetch to send messages to the backend. Alright, so these are all the technologies we need to build the front end, and you will notice that it is really just HTML, CSS and JavaScript. The other technologies make CSS and JavaScript easier to work with. So what is React? React is a JavaScript library for building user interfaces. When you look at websites like Facebook, Netflix, Airbnb, you are looking at UIs built in React. React provides us with a set of tools and structure for building these user interfaces and makes this process much faster. With React, we build single page applications. So in traditional websites, we have a template for each page of our website. However, in single page applications, we are working with one single template and are simply updating all the components within the DOM. The term single page application is a bit misleading as it makes us think that there is only one page in our application. But in reality, we are just using one single template and modifying all the content within it. Components are what make up the visual layer of our application and let us split our UI into independent reusable pieces. Traditionally, each part of our UI would be built out separately as its own component and then added into a parent component. A component is a JavaScript class or function that returns back some HTML. Well, this is something called JSX. One thing to note about components is that they can be nested as deep as you want. A component can hold another component, and that component can hold more components. At some point in the process of learning React, you will want to have an understanding of how the virtual DOM works. Understanding this will help you understand and make sense of how React builds and updates our DOM and the complete lifecycle of a React component. In short, React creates something called virtual DOM, which is a virtual representation of real DOM. When we are updating our components, we're actually updating the virtual DOM and not the real DOM. So React updates only that part of DOM where real changes have been made without having to update the entire DOM. Our comprehensive web development course prepares you with the in-demand skills and knowledge needed to land your dream job. You will learn the secrets of responsive design, ensuring your websites look stunning on any device, whether it is smartphone or laptop. By the end of this course, you won't just be a web developer. You will be a creative problem solver and a digital architect. You will have the skills to build anything you can imagine, from personal websites and blogs to e-commerce platforms and interactive applications. So, are you ready to turn your passion for the web into a thriving career? Enroll in our web development course and take the first step towards building your dream future.